just can't see. I just can't see.
Bitch can't guess the name of that song. Bet you can't. It's 3 words. 3 words, but you can't guess it. 1, 4, 3. Bet you don't. Yeah, I gave you a hint. That's why you got it. Anyway, so let's talk about some stuff. It's pretty dope. Like, now that I've got all my stuff for. I'm really hoping this is broadcasting. Like, coming out. It looks like it's coming out. I don't know if it is or not. Let's look a little bit quiet. Let's bring it up a little bit. Advanced probably. I feel like I gotta yell. I don't want to do that. So, but it's like, what, 20? Put some extra gain in there. Hope it doesn't crank it too much. Check, 1, check. Okay, that's pretty close. I'm gonna go a little bit more than that. So that's at 22. There we go. Good, 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 good. Alright, so, chat is open. I'm trying to mark that. Is open and being monitored. Get your questions in. I can't, for some reason I can't get this one to, let's just ask anything you want to ask. I'm an open book, I don't care. I tell us what's going on. So I did a review earlier today. It was about 2 hours of review and 2.5 hours, I think. And turns out the sound didn't come out for most of it because it kept on changing the settings when it would change the different programs. I wanted to review Total Studio Max. It's so inexpensive and it comes with so much stuff, and you, if you do, like I said, if you want to pull your computer completely off the thing, you've got everything. You've got guitar amps, you've got bass amps, you've got bass synths, you have synthesizers, you have plugins. You really need nothing else. There's really nothing else between mixing, mastering, aside from maybe a DAW, like a digital audio workstation, which they're probably working on. I know that Amplitude has like up to 8 tracks inside of it. So even if they came up with like a really cool, like a 32 track emulator, that let you do like 32 tracks and like 5 MIDI tracks, it would be so cool. Especially if it was free. Like the 16 track version is free, the 32 track version, whatever, not too expensive. It'd be smart on their part, because it'd be just total seamless integration of the whole thing. But I was thinking, I was going through my mail today, and usually when I'm going through my emails, I like scan hard. You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't have a lot of money, so I'm always looking for like anything that's giving away free for plugins, anything that's deals that, like, you know, normally it's hard for me to resist like a good deal. I'm talking about like 95% off, even though I don't need anything, I still look at them. But now, like, I went through my mail and like Musician's Friend and everything, I was just clicking, just going through, like, I don't even care. Drums, bass, synths, I don't need shit. I'm good. They come up with some new stuff. One of my favorite plugins is called Amp Locker, and it came up with some new amps as well as some speaker cabinets. I did look at them to see what was going on, and I just like, and the new stomp pedal also. I just like I care, you know, like I care. I got everything. I got so much shit, I don't know what all of it does. It's fucked up. So, land of the free, home of the brave. America, right? Babylon. Because all these people are just babbling on and on and on and on. They won't shut the fuck up. They just talk, man. And they don't even know what they're really talking about. They just say shit, you know? just so that they have a voice in the conversation. Nothing to contribute, you know. Pointing at problems that everybody knows about. It does nothing. If you're offering up a solution, cool. If you need to establish why this rule needs to be implemented, sure, go ahead and point at the problem. You know what I mean? Like this problem right here. And this doesn't necessarily address it, but to handle any other situations, kind of, from other ones from popping up, we need to pass like a bill. You know, that kind of shit, sure. Aside from that, shut the fuck up. Racism, yeah, we pretty much all know. I'm not saying, like, forget about it or anything like that, but holy fuck, dude. You know? Just holy fuck. If you're not going to offer solutions, shut the fuck up. Just making more noise, and people that have solutions can't be heard. And then the people that have solutions don't. We gotta stop looking at people as having the entire answer. We all talk about we're here to help each other to be better people and to make a better world and all this other stuff. And then we all try to do it by ourselves. And if you try to do it with some other people, then they just too many chefs. As soon as you put usually one or two more people in the mix, it's just too many chefs because someone wants to run the thing. Someone wants to run the show. Their ideas are the best. Their ideas are better. Their plan is more important because whatever they're going for is from their standpoint. So it's always going to be the most important thing. The most important thing we have to do is start here. Well, the interesting thing that you being a farmer, you think the most important thing we should start as is the food. Meanwhile, I'm in the city person. Big surprise, I think that developing housing is most important. So what you gotta do is have somebody that really kind of doesn't want the job and just go, you both need to shut the fuck up, and we don't need to do either one of those things. We need to change the way things are going. The reason why you guys are arguing so much is because the system has been in place the way it's been. And it's not getting better. And you're not going to legislate this into something that you know what I mean? That'll work. It's got to start over. If you want an idea of what's going on out there, there's videos about Polybius and his annular cycle of the Roman Empire. Understand that when they moved to do Washington, D.C., they wanted it to be the new Rome. Capitol Hill. Rome sits on 7 hills. There's 7 hills in Washington, D.C., even though they're not really hills. They really wanted to reintroduce the Roman Empire. Except be the ones that are running it. And so it's been a long con game of sell people on the idea that they have these freedoms that they don't really actually have. And if you think you do, try to use them. Seriously, just go try and use them. Your freedom of speech. Right? Your freedom of the press. Write an article that's critical of the president. See what happens. That's not freedom. I mean, it's dumb, but it's not freedom. I was getting my guitars made in China. Well, that's where my Equinox instruments are made, China. And I just want to know what they honestly thought about Americans, you know? No filter, no BS. What do you guys honestly think about us? Oh, I love you guys. I'm like, you don't have to lie to me. I'm gonna buy the instruments or whatever. I just want to know the honest truth. No, we really love. And I was like, I hate it here. It's hypocrites, liars, people that are whatever. You know, it's garbage, man. It's not all it's cracked up to be, and we're just not what we claim to be. And the person really goes, we hate America. Most Chinese people hate Americans. I'm like, thank you for being honest, you know. But the next day, I started being followed by black cars. No bullshit. and they were circling around my house and shit. And as I was sitting there looking out the window and watching them, circle around because the same cars going by and shit. And when I went for a ride, I went for a drive into the store, and I mean, I had to run a yellow, and boy, one of them just gunned it to get through. I mean, I was barely making it through, and this person just revved. It was a big old truck, too, blacked out, black and whatever. I'm like, okay, so you guys are following now because of what I said. And if that's true, you're going to peel off, and his turn signal turns on, and he peels off, and then another black car pulls in behind. And I'm just like, you guys are too obvious, man. I mean, besides that, the shit you're doing, I mean, which means if you're doing that, you probably have me bugged. I came out of the grocery store one time, and the driver's side door, the little paneling that pops in and out, someone had popped it while I was in the car. While I was in the store. Someone had popped it and tried to push it back in, but it was old, so those little things didn't pop back in. What were they doing? I don't know. Nothing was taken from the car? Were they bugging it? I don't know. There was someone taking pictures of the car. As we were walking out, there was someone taking pictures of the car, and there was someone else that was kind of like loitering around it right as it walked out, and they kind of walked away. And I got in the car, and the door was sticking. What the fuck? And the paneling was separated from it hadn't been that way. It wasn't even close. And the paneling was and I was like, what the fuck? Because the door's unlocked, so I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to get in. I started peeling that, look at it, and I could see the little holes in the side. I'm like, yeah, they probably, because I said that shit. But that's why I don't like it here, because I say I don't like it here. I have freedom of speech, and look what happens. All I said was I don't like it here. I didn't say I'm going to try and tear it down. I didn't say I'm actively looking to destroy it. If God tears it down, that's one thing. That ain't my business. That's his business. I hope I have some weed in here. Some second gens. Oh, yeah. These are going to be good. Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. I hope these are the ones that... Okay, so the legal weed from the dispensary. If you don't know that that's kind of been tampered with, I feel bad for you. There's a smell to it, and I trust me, I've been smoking weed since the 90s. I know. I know weed, and this, what I would say, it's got a little tinkle on top, almost like a metallic flavor and smell. And more than likely, being in the hands of these just smell like regular roaches. The hands of tobacco people now. They're probably trying to make all the same addictiveness to it. Their thing is to make cheap, inexpensive, and potent weed right now. That's their biggest goal. They don't care about much else but to try and get a bunch of cheap, potent pot. Because that then, in capitalism, you win. You deliver the most strong products for the least expensive price. And so that's what's kind of bottoming the market out here. But on top of that, I wouldn't doubt at all, I've been saying this from the very beginning, that since now pot is legal, I would not doubt at all that they are that little tinkle taste flavor that's on top, the metallic flavor, if they were synthesizing marijuana. And or those terpenes they talk about, and then they have the regular plant, and then they have a 20 to 25, and they just go down and spray those with synthetic, because all the buds after a certain price range just have the THC crystals on the outside, like Hydra used to have. That's just not normal. It's just not normal. Hydra was always a very strong, and it was grown in a hydroponic way that made it have those crystals on there. Of THC, and this is now just everything over a certain price has that. I'm not buying it, coming by and spraying it down with some kind of liquid. But then to further solidify my belief, there have been several cases here in Michigan and around the country of what places where it's legal of people getting mold in their weed. Now it could be because it got too old, or it could be because it got too damp. Spray it down too much. Don't give it time to dry out properly like you normally used to, because there's a huge demand on it. So you're just pushing it out and pushing it out, and it's dry enough. It's dry enough, and it's not. It'll dry on the way there. It doesn't, because it's in that wrapper, and so it just molds in there. And people get it and they smoke it and get sick because of corporate greed. Money, 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 money. Hungry whores. It's absolutely disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. And everybody knows it, but everybody acts like it's the right thing. Everybody knows that you can't get that much fucking money like Elon Musk and in the billions of dollars without doing some terrible shit. There's just no way to do it legally. There's just no way to do it legally. Cop? No. Teacher? No. Scientist? No. Nobel Prize winner? No. Inventor? No. Artist? No. Fuck people over until you have all the money in the world? Yes. Possible. Possible. We like the way you think. Cut funding for elderly. Now you're looking at a Hell Express ticket. Now you're getting there. So, with Trump's popularity waning, as I said, he probably would lose about a third of his people before he started to fucking freak out pretty hard, and then he would lose, which would be at least, I mean, we'd leave him with like less than half of his people. His approval ratings are getting down. I don't know what, I know they were like 45, whatever. It could be even lower than that. I have no idea, because it's just terrible mishandling, mismanagement, and everything like that. But he already told everything from when he started running. He gave a snake poem. His behavior was very obvious of who he was and what he's trying to do. He looked at the sky and said, "I'm the chosen one." I mean, so I look at American Liberation Day as he's proclaimed it coming up. One of two things. He feels like he's in a position of power, of untouchability. You know what I mean? Because he's the president of the United States, and the Supreme Court has said as long as you're keeping the union, so they gave him a mandate to do whatever he wants to do, which is not what happened at all. They didn't even give him a thing saying that he had presidential pardon. Look at the fact that they've ruled against him so many times since he's taken office. They gave the presidency, the office of presidency. Well, that would have been Joe Biden. So whatever he did during that time to keep the union together would be legal, wouldn't you? So two things are more than likely happening with Trump. There's almost always like a third option also. I guess that would be one. He's actually telling the truth, and his plans are going to kind of like come together, and he's going to show exactly what he meant, which would silence a lot of the critics and stuff like that, and show that he actually is playing some kind of weird, crazy 3D chess, 4D chess, whatever, because, you know, God, he's a fucking moron, so how could he actually come to a proper conclusion? That would be actually stunning. Especially if like it was all written out from before. You know what I mean? It was all like a, you know what I mean, his time and date stamped from before he started. Like, this is my plan to do these things, go out there, be like basically a WWE bad guy. So people rally against me and other people rally for me. Well, and he lays out like all the steps he's going to do. I'm like, well, that's actually pretty, I mean, that's smart. But now what I see is a con man that has learned how to flip. If he wins, yay. If he loses, that was intentional. That was part of my plan the whole time. Everybody goes, oh, I get you. And they do that whole thing like, what he means is. They do that shit for him all the time. He didn't mean to say. What he meant was, God, why are you guys so stupid? Why does he have to always be run through a, you know what I mean, filter? Why can't he say what he means? Why does he lack that capability? And I mean, come on, if you come up with an excuse, actually, I think it's kind of brilliant what he's doing. If I see what he's a very smart guy. If I see what I think I'm seeing, that means that he'll probably, you know what I mean? And then if he gets hands on the article, all he has to do is go, well, someone's paying attention. Right? Someone's actually smart enough to know how smart I am. That's all he has to do. Even though that wasn't his plan at all. It might be now. Or it never was his plan, never will be. And then when he gets, like, I thought you were going to do this. Like, well, I had to say that so that no one would see me doing. Okay, dude, then you are the snake in your poem. Because only a snake would come up with that. There was a guy that got arrested for something. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't murder like that, but he pled insanity. And he acted in court. He wasn't insane, but he acted in court in a way that everybody believed that he was crazy. His plan was to go to the mental home, get cured, and hopefully get released without doing any real time. He's still in there as far as I know. And there's a journalist who was talking to a friend. He's like, so have you heard of what's his name down there? He's like, no. And so he goes, yeah, you gotta go down there. And so he goes down there and asks to interview, and he doesn't get any visitors. And so he agrees. And he comes out. He's dressed normally. He looks normal. He talks normal. He's sane. He's lucid. Blah, blah, blah. And he explains what happened. And then so the guy goes to the doctor and it's like, hey, you know that guy's, he's not crazy, right? And the doctor basically said, well, it's one of, if he's not crazy, then he's so sociopathic that he would actually go to court and pretend to be crazy and do such a good job at it that people believed he's crazy, which shows a high level of deception and a high level of sociopathy. Because, I mean, you clearly don't care about the rules and think you'd fake something that hard. There must be something wrong with you. Because most people wouldn't do that, wouldn't fake that hard to get, you know what I mean, to get whatever it was. And so he, as far as I know, he was still in there because like that's some psychotic shit. That's some psychotic shit to do that. Some Andy Kaufman shit without, like, a crowd to play to. But again, looking at American Liberation Day, well, he took office, and supposedly day one, he ended woke, right? So we're free from that. He brought back the right to go to church because God knows that was in jeopardy. There's only like, 5 churches per city? Mandatory. Because you're all Christians and you all believe the same thing. You all have the same ideas and you all worship the same God. That's why you must go to different churches to separate yourself from those fucking losers who don't get it. But That's all it is, really. Like with QAnon, it's just being a club. And conspiracies, it's all being on the inside and being able to look at other people and go, you didn't know that? You didn't know that? Oh man, yeah, that's been going around for a while, like the '70s. You know what I mean, that's all it is. It's just little fake puzzles to put together that go nowhere. Again, if you really hype up how woke and how woke and how woke, and no one's actually doing anything woke at all, you can go into office and declare woke is dead because it wasn't a real problem. If you look at their virtue signaling and their bullshit talk, most of it is like, we fulfilled our campaign promise to end, the problems at the border. Well, yeah, there wasn't a real problem at the border, so it's real easy to end that problem. Records say it's half the amount that we were reporting before. You were reporting before. You see that dark speech? They don't actually nuance it enough to be like, we were reporting before. That's not how much it was. That's not how much factually. As much they're reporting. That's when I kind of realized that that's probably why it's impossible to get through to Trump fans. By this time, they've dug in so hard, they've tripled down so much that it's become part of their personality. Probably look in the mirror and get sick. But then they go, gotta do it again tomorrow. That's how I can make my money. So he brought back the freedom of speech because that was in jeopardy and that was gone because you couldn't say anything at all. Remember that 4-month period with Joe Biden leaving? And then, and then before Trump took office, and you just couldn't say anything ever to anyone at all about anything. I mean, just nothing. You couldn't call a crippled person a cripple to their face. You couldn't smack ice cream out of a kid's hand. You could not. You weren't free. You weren't free to get in a black person's face and, without him being able to punch you back. Because that's against the law. You can't punch me back. Or chase me or hurt me. Because I'm the superior race. There is no real Muslim or migration error or a problem. So they just go around to random areas and just snatch up brown people that, like I said, until we get to some truth and reconciliation, we're going to always have an assumption that the only Americans are white. They're the only ones that don't have European American, African American, Mexican American, Native American, Polynesia. Everybody's something else before American. You were something else before. Only white settlers that came here on, you know what I mean? They're the only ones that are just American. Everybody else has a hyphen or an extra thing in front of it. Don't they? They don't call themselves European Americans. They're just Americans. That's why they believe they're the only real Americans. It's not hard to figure out. They're not bright. You have to dial down your intelligence quite a bit, but then it's easy to pick up what they're doing. Lock her up. They can't carry more than 3. Anything more than that, 1, 2, 3, 4, go away. They're not doing all this 5, 6, 7, 8. But that fiery long before too late, before it's too late. They're not getting all that shit. They need 1, 2, 3 at max. They prefer two syllables.
Elon, Donald Trump, Donald.
Found a pair of 30s. Well, actually, I found two pair of 36s. I was going through my stuff, cleaning up. All my pants are like 34s and shit still. 34s and 38s. They're fairly like stiff, but I like them. They got the little carpenter stuff with that, you know? It's pretty nice. I dig it. I don't know where the other pair went to, but I'll find them somewhere. I'm probably going to go to Goodwill. I get paid on the 1st. I got a bus pass. And these are still very loose. They could still pull off of me. If I had like my wallet in, if I walked around, they would be... Oh wow, there's that much delay. I'm just now standing up in the chat thing over there. Alright, well... my neck is killing me. But it may not be forever, so... April 2nd. American Liberation Day. He and Elon Musk are just trolls. They both look like it, act like it. They're just trolls. What if American Liberation Day is where he goes... There are three options I saw. One, he's right, and things work out. Two, he knows it's not gonna work out. He knows whatever, and he just announces basically, "Yeah, man, I've been lying to you this whole fucking time. I am the snake of the poem. You're the tender-hearted woman." He's crying, "How could you do this to me? You knew I was a snake when you picked me up." And then nothing else, I read you that poem and you guys just cheered, thinking that the other people were the tender-hearted person. You're the tender-hearted person who's about to get their ass bit. And the third option I could see is he's overextended himself. It's crumbling. It's all going down. It's going It's going down. It's going bad. It's going fast. He's exactly the type of bitch to roll. If I gotta go, I'll take as many people. You know what I mean? I'll rescind my pardons if I have to. You know what I mean? That's the kind of person he is. I don't even know if that's a possibility for a person to rescind a pardon of his own. But if he's overextended, he's extended himself to the people, saying he's going to bring down prices. He knows he can't. He honestly thought he was going to lose because I have concepts of a plan. He just sounded like just a confused old man, just like, does that count? No. Concept of a plan, and you can hear his voice just like, it's just very down to the whole thing. And then even election night, I hear there's election fraud and so on. So why would you say that? Before, I mean, it's really going on at all. Anything's going on. Before any counting or anything like that. I'm saying is you already know there's fraud. Because you know you're going to lose. Because Kamala's rallies were just bigger. They were more energetic. They had more entertainment, more entertainers, more people. So we probably come to hate watcher, you know? And maybe some of them, while hate watching, actually came to like, that's an actual plan. That's not just, you know, let's fuck those guys over as hard as we can. So, although you're in a shitty position, it's not as shitty as those, and you helped us make their position even shittier. I don't want to do that. He's hyperextended to the Russians. He owes them too much money that he doesn't have. Even in their pump and dump, like, Dogecoin scam, I think there's a waiting period before you can touch that. Become president, you can change that, especially if you get rid of the OFCP or whatever. Office of Financial Consumer Protection, yeah, OFCP. Get rid of that and the regulation of banks and stuff. It's not just getting rid of for the ability for the Dogecoin or whatever the fuck he wants to name his stupid currency. It's not just a matter of that, but it's also a matter of being able to do the things that he wants to do. And that Protection Bureau would put a stop to that. I mean, only an idiot would be saying you're trying to make the government more efficient and then get rid of a company that's returning over $22 billion in the last year to the people. You have to be a special kind of piece of shit. The same kind of piece of shit that would argue over whether or not people should get tuition for free. It should have always been free. When I dated that Asian girl, I believe she was Korean. It's been so long. And it was a fairly short relationship, like about a month or so, if even that long. Yeah, that reminded me of a chopstick story. It was great. But you ever get too high and forget what you're talking about? Yeah, that just happened here. I know I was talking about my ex, and she. Yeah, I wish you should pull up this thing and see what it is. What am I talking about? You ever get too high and forget what you're talking about? Yeah. 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 April 2nd. Here we got that. He honestly thought he was going to lose because... Yeah. The concepts of a plan. Yeah, yeah. He just sounded like just a confused old man, just like... Yeah, get to the part where you forgot what you're saying. Pump and dump, like, Dogecoin scam. I think there's a waiting period before you can touch that. Become president, you can change that, especially if you get rid of the OFCP or whatever. Office of Financial Consumer Protection, yeah, OFCP. Get rid of that and the regulation of banks and stuff. It's not just getting rid of for the ability for the Dogecoin. Dude, why is it doing this? He wants to name his stupid currency. It's not just a matter of that, but it's also a matter of being able to do the things he wants to do. I was talking about how she was Korean, but I don't remember who it was. And here we go. That Protection Bureau would put a stop to that. I mean, only an idiot would be saying you're trying to make the government more efficient and then get rid of a company that's returning over $22 billion. Sorry, I catch up with myself because it just got too high. The people. You have to be a special kind of piece of shit. The same kind of piece of shit that would argue over whether or not people should get tuition for free. That's what it was. Yeah, okay, so got it. Tuition for free. So, she was from Korea, and she said that back in where she was from, that elementary was public, and high school was kind of a different thing, and then university was for those that had the grades to keep going. But they didn't just shit out the people that they gave them a skill. Like during the whole high school time, if you weren't getting good grades, they kind of pull you to the side and like look for other stuff because you don't really need trigonometry. You're not going to college. You need a skill. And so they start working on that so you can be a productive member of society so they don't say, okay, no college, no fucking life for you. You'll be a loser from here on out. Well, then forage for a job, you savage. That's basically what we do. And it's really bullshit. I mean, should be ashamed. That's why other countries do so much better than us because it's not even a matter of cost. All you have to do is provide enough interest to be educated. And we will invest in you so that you will become an American citizen. I can understand, like, you know, like saying that you won't take those talents to other places. We paid for that shit. You have to do a certain amount of time here before you can move anywhere else. Totally get that. But, like, dude, I'm an American citizen. I wouldn't want to fucking leave anyways. Why would I want to do that? Well, in case you, like, I mean, you get this job and you decide to go, like, you know, anywhere. Cancun or whatever. And, like, oh, I can fix cars down here. You know what I mean? Because that translates anywhere. But yeah, she said that if you had the grades, that they would just go ahead and you know, pass you on to university. And if you didn't, they'd move you into a trade school and find something you're into. I'm like, that's so fucking smart. Especially like, you know, 13 or 14, when kids are starting to, well, maybe like 10 or 12. They're starting to get kind of pretty rebellious. And just like that would be a perfect time for a guidance counselor to step in. You don't like school very much, do you? No, not really. You want to do something else? Like what? Or you want to get like a job or something after you get out of high school and just go to work instead of going to college? Yeah? How would you like some 4 years of experience? Working on cars, working on wood, plumbing, working on sewing clothes, whatever the fuck. You got 4 years experience when you leave high school. Yeah, okay, we're gonna keep you with English and we're gonna keep you with math and stuff, but trigonometry, no. Gym, you want to do gym still? There's just certain classes you don't even have to take anymore. The more you can focus on this, the higher your grades can be. So pick something that you're passionate about. What do you like to do? Oh, I want to be a musician. Great. So does everybody. So does everybody. Are you good at recording? Would you like to? No? Do you like loading gear in and out? No. Could you run a record store? You could? That would work for you? I'll teach you how to run a business. Just a record store, CD place, something where you're contributing something and you don't have to just, as my dad kept warning me, go dig a fucking ditch. Where are these ditch digging jobs, Dad? There's just none. Since I've graduated, I've not seen a fucking advertisement for a ditch digger wanted. Much less, you didn't do your homework through high school. You only aced your fucking tests. Ditch digger. Well, when you get off the clock, we want you to take this shit home with you and keep working on it. No, fuck you. The reason they do that is so that you can get it and understand it. If I already got it in class, while everybody else is going, are there any questions? When there wasn't, I was always the one that, like, Mr. Battle, what? I'm like, okay, don't fucking do that. You said this is a valid question. This is a valid question. And it is a valid question because they're actually litigating it, not litigating, but they're talking about it right now because the their telescopes they found, they put up there are finding like things that should not be happening and stuff in the end. It's like maybe upending everything we know about the universe. Everything we know might be wrong. And I'm like, yeah, because things can only be proven false. They cannot be proven true. If you believe that We have such a causality, people. We have a non-nuanced language, and we have such a causality, people. They see an action, and then a result happens, and they just immediately conflate the two. One is a product of the other. No. Like in a car wreck. You didn't just start at the wreck. In domestic abuse, you didn't just start at the ER. You didn't just start at where the fight began. And you're actually doing a disservice to truth and honesty by just skipping that. Probably because there's some stuff that's unsavory. Usually people fight when they're, whatever, in situations like that. But, I'm not excusing it, I'm explaining it. Women tend to step on lines, man. Women tend to forget that we are the bear. Remember, you guys chose bear. You guys chose bear for a reason. But yet you live with us sometimes. But you'll talk to us like we're a toddler. That's not okay. That's not okay. Ladies, it's not okay to hit your spouse in any way. I mean, if you're just kind of teasing, oh, stop it. But if you like face, no. Punch to the chest, knock that shit off unless you want one back. Well, I can't even hurt you. The point is, you fucking laid your hands on me. In less than a loving way. On purpose. Out of anger. Would you like me to put my hands on you? And well, no, cause yeah, exactly, no, cause. So then, double standards. We all have them. You just don't notice them because you're the one dishing them out. It's like we don't know the ones we're dishing out because it's. Oh, that's different, isn't it? It's always no, that's different. See, because I'm me. And? Case closed. I'm me, so therefore that's different. I'm allowed. Oh, it doesn't hurt you. Think it ever hurts my feelings? We're in a crowd of people and you just smack me? You just punch me, and if I do anything back, even talk, I'm a bitch before oh, come on, she barely tapped you. Yeah, but that's like the 15, 20 times she's done that because she doesn't know how to fucking talk and speak in actual words. So she starts throwing fists. No, they don't hurt, but it hurts my fucking feelings. And again, we're out in public. Women don't understand pride for men. It's the one thing we have left. I mean, you guys take our dignity. We take our shame. I mean, because love is just shameless, dude. It's ridiculous how shameless love is. And real love, you just do stupid shit. Dignity, again, like I said, you're out and around your friends and stuff, and here's someone smaller than you punching you, and you don't do anything back, so your friends call you whipped. But if you were to do something back, everybody would jump in and whip you. Dude, she's a small person. You know what I mean? Never mind that you said you didn't like it at least 4 or 5 times. Never mind all the shit that, supposedly is the things they're supposed to listen to. right? From you. Coming back this way, that's different. I can barely hurt you. Well, then by all means, get the baseball bat. Supposedly there's a thing like, who would you trust more for guys? Their own version of the bear thing. Who would you trust more to tell your secrets to? A female or a tree? And every guy's gonna say a tree. Fucking tree, dude. There's zero chance that tree is gonna use that against me. There's there's a 90 to 100% chance. The second I misbehave, that vulnerability is going to be shoved in my face and down my throat. God forbid we break up. Everyone's going to know that fucking thing. Aren't they? Aren't they? Oh, you can't wait to tell whatever it is. Whatever insecurity. I fear dying alone. Yeah, that's what you're gonna die alone, you piece of shit. You're not kicking me out. I'm leaving you. Just like your dad left your... You know what I mean? You guys do that shit. It's so vile. So fucking vile. Because you don't care. For people that have emotion, you don't care at all. You just want to inflict maximum pain and damage and then come back later and like, yeah, I'm sorry, that was too far. That's like me fucking go ahead and breaking your fucking arm. Hey, I went a little too far. A little. One of my biggest vulnerabilities and worries and shit, and you just took it and stabbed me in the throat, neck, and back. You know exactly how bad it hurts me, how much it, and you went straight. You didn't even like wait. You didn't even like hesitate. I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because that's fucked up. No, because I'm not a fucking piece of shit. Say it, you already started. No, because I'm not a piece of shit. If you think about it, you'll know what I was going to say. Hey, I didn't say it. I said I'm not a piece of shit, so I was going to say it, but there's no reason to go that far. Hell, you might as well bring up my insert fucking... And we're just trained. I mean, we are kind of trained to just take it. Fighting back is seen as weakness because you guys are smaller. You guys are not as strong as us. And you guys go straight for the emotions because you don't think we have any. Oh, we have them. We just don't show them to other guys. And we try our best not to show them to you because you lose all respect for us. But this is about... I gotta show you, this is one last thing, that Korean girl that I was dating. So... I've been going to Chinese restaurants since 5 or 6 years old. The first time I went to Silver Dragon in San Francisco, and I learned how to use chopsticks by like maybe 7. So I'm really good, you know. It's gonna be slippery, so I can't grab that. But I mean, yeah. I don't eat. I eat Thai food, Chinese food. I eat it with the Japanese food. I eat with chopsticks. And so We went to for my sister's graduation. My mom's family came in town, and we went to Shogun, really good Japanese restaurant in Shreveport. And so, I asked for sticks, and she was the hostess. So she sat us, but then she left, and then the waitress came in, whatever, and I asked for chopsticks, and so I'm sitting there eating, and she comes in there, I guess to embarrass me, and she's like, "Hey, I brought you these so you can actually eat with them," and there's a pair of chopsticks that had been like bound together with a rubber band, and it had like a thing right here, so you could actually it would just bring itself back together, and so I was like, I'm good. It's like a child, how you teach a child how to use chopsticks. I'm like, I'm good. Thank you. And her face was like, I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it, but I mean, I'm good. But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's probably a kid around here that could probably use those. She walks away. I'm like, fuck you, man. The fuck do you think? What? Think I'm an uncultured motherfucker? Fuck you. I dress like this, and nobody expects nothing of me. And it's comfortable. April 1st is known for what? April Fools. April 2nd would be the day of awakening for everybody that didn't realize it. He goes on one of his midnight tirades. 1, he feels like he's ensconced enough that he doesn't need voters, and he feels that confident about it. 2, he's overextended and he wants out because there's just no way to pay back all these people. And on top of that, all the investigations, it's just one big bumbling fucking freak show after another. Everything they do is just disaster after disaster after disaster. It's embarrassing and ridiculous. It's embarrassing to watch Marjorie Taylor Greene sit there and tell someone to go back to their country. Here's the thing. She didn't ask, where are you from? She didn't ask. She asked, who are you with? Let's say I'm an Afghanistan person who speaks English and is a journalist in Afghanistan. But I speak English. And so CNN wants to use me as a correspondent. And so in Afghanistan, I go to interact with the leader because I live there. Or one of the leaders, and like, hey, what do you have to say about this? And who are you with? I'm with CNN. Yeah, go back to America. Go back to your country. I'm from here. But then how are you with CNN? I am a correspondent. Yes, I speak with a British accent. Yes, I work for a British newspaper. But I have legal citizenry here in America. So for me to go back where I'm from, would be to be like 4 blocks away. Where these people live. I wonder where Trump and their people live that they can go do January 6th and leave their phones on their person, thinking that won't track every movement that they make. They believe in a ballot stuffing or about cheating in the election But one, they're not smart enough to do it the next election, and two, people on the same ticket that you voted for got elected. So they just fixed the presidency. Three, somehow or another you think you outvoted the cheat. How's the air where you breathe? Is there? Or are you slowly going brain dead from holding your breath in a tantrum going, nope? Well, as long as Hussein isn't it? Jesus Christ, man. No evidence or proof that he wasn't born anywhere besides Hawaii. Just a feeling. I just know it. Something about him makes me believe that he was not born. He wasn't born in America. Well, I mean, only Americans are. Not half. His mom was a citizen, making him a citizen. Get the fuck over it. If she ever renounced her citizenship, which I don't think she did. Besides that, I think he grew up with his grandparents in America before going back to Hawaii. Citizen. Get over it. Times are changing, man. And that's what's the really. So, white people want to deny. The same people that were doing January 6th want to deny black people reparations for a promise they were given that America never fulfilled. Well, it's been so long now. That means it should have interest, fuck ass. That doesn't mean that you should just get away with it. I was like, well, dude, I checked that book out like, what, 40 years ago. You're still coming after me for a book? Yeah, jackass, because that 5 cents has been accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. Now you're about like fucking $40, man. So you're not going to let me slide on the 40? No. I am not going to let you slide on the 40. Nor the 40 acres and a mule. Like I said, we have the actual records. We can go back and find out how many people were there, how many people were made into slaves, and how much land that would equal out to. And then combine it together to make a city. Again, if you need more land, combine that, just add that in there as interest. But man, are they so afraid of like, well, I didn't do anything wrong, so why does, and he was never a slave, so why does he get a benefit that I don't get? On top of that, I had to go to jail during January 6th. I lost wages on that. That's the same thing. And they're honestly considering giving those people reparations for the time they were lost. They lost because they were in jail for fucking crimes they committed. They did this shit. They admitted in court of law and a judge found them guilty. People found them guilty. And now they have Trump back. Because they probably didn't think this was going to happen, honestly. They probably didn't. Did you see those rallies that Kamala was having? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. We kept calling Biden Obama.
course, we had a really big victory over Obama. And people hear me say Obama and they think, oh, he's losing it. No, I'm saying it on purpose. No, you're not. Just like you said oranges. I mean, I know your face is an orange fuck. And your hair is stupid fucking piss yellow cotton candy. Big blur sack right there. Fuck. It's the dumbest fucking haircut I think I've ever fucking seen on a single person ever. Like I said, the first one was like, dear God, you were ugly. And then the second one was like, holy fuck, Marge. Elon fucked that right off your head, didn't he? Yeah, he did. But he chokeslammed your ass too while doing it. Because didn't you like the things to be exciting? You know, the Sermon on the Mount. Oh! Was that exciting enough for you? Trump? Should Linda McMahon come out and 1, 2, oh, Jesus gets out of the pen again. The pastor almost had him. You know what? I'm having some fucking chocolates. You want to see some shit? Come check this shit out. Well, I'll bring it to you so you can check this shit out. So, thinking how it might have been. Alright, so, the ones on the right, this one here, are my test batches. They make little, Easter eggs and chickens and stuff like that, and they look very professional. I actually put some peanuts in this one because, man, it tastes just like Mr. Goodbar. And these are, again, this was like after the Easter, and my mom found these. We were at Walmart. I was looking for some more molds because I want to have Halloween ones. I want to have all kinds of different ones. So I can just keep, making a bunch of them. I need a bunch of them at all times, pretty much. But in these, I put cranberry, dried cranberry, and peanuts. It all is so good combined together. Like it's a dark chocolate with the cranberry and peanuts. It tastes so good. And then I'm gonna pop a couple out and show you. Yeah, that one's got a bunch of peanuts and stuff in it. They don't look as good with their, because the peanuts are down there. But yeah, little ducky. He's got a peanut in his face. You leave him alone. He's had a rough time. They're trying to hatch. Same thing. Just roughly the chicken patch this time of year. You know all those eggs that we're missing? Yeah, this is the one that got out of the escaped Costco. Barely. He got into a gang fight. Lump in the face. With a peanut. That's 4. My test batch. See how 4 does, man. Yeah, I want a big bunny too. The worst that'll happen is I'll fall asleep, man. See? Chunk of chocolate, probably about 90 calories. Pretty cool, man. Yeah. If Trump, like I said, is overextended, I
been lying this whole time. Yes, the company. I mean, the country's been sold to Elon Musk. Yes, blah 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 blah. Yes, I'm the snake of the poem. If he just feels like he doesn't need it, no, I don't need your help. I never have. I never did. I don't like you guys. I never did. But thanks for voting me president. Because his popularity is dropping off, and since you guys don't like me anyways, I don't like you either. I'm commander in chief, so you're too late. And the other last one, which is the most least likely. Here's all the money that Doge found. I would recommend to anyone that gets like one of those Doge checks, which I know Republicans are going to, don't spend it. Don't spend it. Not because, I mean, because more than likely that's money that would be saved for another funding in another place. So if they have to, if nothing else, they'd have, like, you can either return the $5,000 check, or we have to take out even more money to pay for these things that they shut down that we need back open. USAID. On and on. That money wasn't free to give out. On top of that, he gave you out that much because he took 5-6 times that for himself. If you're getting $5,000 checks, you're not going to. What do you care that he walked away with like a $5 million or $5 billion check, right? You're not even going to care if you happen to have the $5,000, especially if you believe it's fraud. Man, Trump's doing a good job. No. Yes, he is. I got money is not everything. If it was, the Bible would say, gather as much money as you could. For one never knows when the Lord will arrive, and you should be prepared for cab fare in case the bus has to pick you up or take, you know what I mean? And or God might need some gas money. You better have 5 on it. No. Everything in there is basically the repulsion, the hatred of money. Jesus flipping out on the money changers. God declaring a jubilee, which sets free people from debt. You forgive all your debts. You forgive all your debtors. Yeah, your debtors forgive your debts, and you forgive all debts to people that you whatever. That's why we currently have the 7-year thing on our chasing someone down for a payment. They can only chase you down for 7 years, and that's why. Circumcision, Jewish. That's why. There's nothing other than that. To swear your allegiance to God of the Jews and of Israel. Israel. I thought about it because my brother's an atheist and he's talking to some other people and stuff like that. It was a while back, and they're just going back and forth about. To me, it's seemingly ridiculous. So, basically, how can we make this without God? Why are you so hardcore about not wanting a God? I just don't understand why. Like I said, did he let you down at some point? I don't know. I don't know what your deal is, but you just get your little fucking support group. And I started wondering, is atheism just like God's own self-doubt playing itself out as like a religion? Because like on earth as it is in heaven. Does he doubt himself from time to time? I don't know. I'd like to talk to him and find out. I got a bunch of questions I want to ask God. Like, dude, we got forever, and you're annoying the shit out of me. You what? We got forever. Is this what you're gonna be doing? Is that what we're doing today? Huh? To quote you. Is that what we're doing today? How come? How come me until I have just a whittled old man in the corner? Huh? Wow, these are good. And now I'm gonna be fucking high too. Oh shit, in an hour it's gonna be drugs o'clock again. Tell you what, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. You guys have a good night. I really want to go have a great night. Great as it can be. It's gonna look really weird. The way it looks is not the way it'll be. I have a feeling they're gonna put out one last option to try with Vaseline. I would recommend taking it. I'd recommend taking it because it goes the same place either way. You know what I mean? It's do you want curfews and tanks running down your street? I remember, I'll say this before I go. Around the time of Project Jade Helm, we have a base here. We have a not base. I believe it was an Air Force base, but right off the airport there is a base station, a base thing, and it's usually pretty empty minus a few jets. And right as the Jade Helm thing was going on, they had, I don't know if you remember like the videos where they're just long, ridiculously long trains with Humvees, Bradleys, covered things, crates, all kinds of stuff like MREs and shit like that and whatever. And I'm guessing one of the places they stopped is here because that airport does not usually have that kind of stuff. And I drove by one time and I mean the entire parking lot was Humvees, infantry vehicle, whatever. They weren't like civilian vehicles, and I figured they're probably gonna be staying there until they got moved out, and or shipped out to wherever. And I haven't seen them in a while, but it took a lot longer for them to go anywhere than I thought they'd be. They got here in a quickness. They got out slowly. How many other times did they do that to him? Now they're stashed out in random places. Ready to be taken control of. Especially if you can't see inside to see if there's anyone in there. And it's got a turret on the top that can... You got a kid at home. PlayStation controller. Driving 5 tanks. Parked right in the middle of the road. Sometimes directing traffic, There's so much shit that, like I said, you don't take the Vaseline, it's going to be so bad because they're just too close to finishing up what they're trying to do. I mean, they're way too close. I really hope that's the original quote that AI came up with. I am what happens when you try to carve God out of the wood of your own hunger. What if ChatGPT stands for Chat Group and Private Text? So that way it's just like you can do bots, so that way people are starting to get kind of addicted to the bots, so therefore they could easily make you believe. The whole point is to make you spend more time on their platform and doing what they want you to do and seeing their advertisements and stuff, reloading the page. That's why they like when you get into arguments in the comment section on YouTube. I wouldn't doubt some of them were actual fake accounts by the creator. Ah, shut the fuck up. This guy's an idiot. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Anyone who listens to him is a fucking idiot. And then just let 550 people just pile on. Dude, this guy knows more about, and it's just, it's you. Both of them are you. It's all about appearance, man. It's all about how does it look. What does it look like? Does it look like we have something to do with this? That's why I said you have to see the cause and the effect. And I mean, we have no ability to kind of like, okay, well, this person didn't just pop up in the middle of the street. How did you get here? And how did you get here also? Because that's going to determine where the fault lies. Right now we have an accident and we can say, okay, it's definitely so-and-so's fault because by looking at the right now, what we have in front of us. Back it up a little bit and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that changes everything. I should write a book like that. If the whole thing is complete and it's done, you understand it all, then you're like, wait a minute. Maybe I misunderstood it, like the first couple lines explains it back. I'm like, oh shit. He didn't mean. Which that is true. Fuck. The end. Have a good night. Morning. It's 4:21, 4:12. I am not going to bed anytime soon. Anyone want to chat? Let me know. Later.